Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Major LSA-1 Locksmith Screw Assortment. You're definitely going to be a practicing locksmith if you own this screw assortment. And the reason I say that is it's not handy for anyone to have a whole series of, screws laying around. But some of these sizes are going to be pretty unusual for you to just encounter. I've been in the door hardware industry for a long time, and I've encountered a 348 screw when I've been, modifying a lock set where I've needed to run the screw that holds the cam in a cylinder. That's a 348 thread. But there is some stuff in here that's smaller. So that's what your kit looks like. It's awfully tempting to have this kit. It's not very expensive at all, especially when you consider the fact that they are giving you a procured, list of screws. And, if you are, again, like I said, a practicing locksmith, you'll certainly use this. And for the cost, it's handy to have these specialty screws lying around. So what you're going to see in the top of the lid, of course, is what everything is used for. Okay, right across. You can pause this video if you want to study what that is. And there's an image down below that we'll take a closer look at. And then, of course, you'll be able to see all the screws that are listed herein. Some of these require the Allen wrench that is included in here as well, which is for the Medico application. I don't know exactly where they use... pardon me, those screws are not for the medical application. I don't know where they use these at all in the screws. I don't think they do. I think what you're saying is here are a couple of Allen wrenches that you're probably going to encounter in these locks that you'll work on. What I do wish they had there was the thread size. And it's not difficult to figure out what the thread size is necessarily with a caliper. I have some 348 screws lying around here because I bump into that, but the LS2 screw, a 348 is, I don't recall the diameter of that, it's probably 0.9 something. This LS2 screw is 0.085, 0.084. Yeah, 0.084. The question becomes is, what diameter of that? I happen to know it's a number 2, because a number 2 is an 0.86, so we'll just assume that that's what it is. The issue is I don't know how many threads per inch. And while I have my caliper, the challenge really becomes is, quite frankly, just simply seeing the thread count in order to determine how many there are. When you look at the available options of what thread count there are when it comes to a number 2 diameter, I believe the most likely answer is 64 threads per inch. Yeah, 0.086 would be a number 2 diameter, and 64 threads per inch would be a very typical size to have in terms of threads. Let's see what else there is. I'm just simply looking at a chart is what I'm looking at. So machine screws. Well, in a number 2 diameter, you could have 56 or 64. It's pure guesswork as to what that would be. I don't know. I don't have a die small enough to be able to tell me which it is. Nor do I have a tap to run into a lock body. But as you go through these, they're telling you what it's used for. Okay. So if you're doing a medical padlock, here's your LS9. You're not getting worked up about what thread type it is. Although, quite frankly, it would be nice that it was listed there just for reference sake, because obviously they know what these sizes are. I do own this, and I do so because there's nothing that can save the day to replace a lost screw that's gone missing. And that's why I have this. We're in a specific industry when it comes to the locksmithing sort of items, and it's easy to pay off the cost of this when you've got a client at the counter and that screw has bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, and you're not sure where it went. So anyway, that's my personal opinion. Now, let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are indeed looking at. Let's look at the photographs that we have listed first. That's the case with its slip sleeve. The underside of the lid, then the screw assortment themselves. So pretty handy and straightforward. Over here might be the 3/48. These are the number 2. Well, I don't know that they're 48 actually, but your number 2s I think are here. They're really small screws. Now the extended description. An assortment containing 18 of the most commonly used and misplaced, and that's the that's my experience, screws that are required when servicing locks. The LSA-1 contains mortise cylinder cam screws. That's a 3/48. Cylinder set screws, faceplate screws, meaning like armor front screws is what they're talking about. These would be screws for armor fronts and just different finishes. And others that can be missing or lost when on the job. This handy assortment will pay for itself the first time the kit is used. And you can buy refills for this material in packs of 10. The quantity that you get of each screw appears to be 10. That's what it looks like. There appears to be basically 10 in each package. So there you go. Sold as one each. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Now there is a link to the product brochure that's here, and that's going to be handy because it will allow you to go over the LSA-1. A list of what everything's used for. You can also do packages of 100 when you add -100 to the end of your part number. The LSA-3 going to be when you're working with hinges. These number 12 size 10 and 12. So what they're saying is here, you've got a number 12 screw, but you'll have a larger body. So if you've got a hinge screw that's stripped out, well, there's a number 14 size body on that undersized head. It's a number 14 screw with a size 12 head, or it's an oversized body on a number 12 screw. You get the point. LS-28 and 29. These are going to be what they call thread forming screws. And then you have self-drilling screws, or tech screws, I suppose some people call them. These are very common. Continuous hinges, obviously. I'm not a fan of these because I'm not good at getting the screw where I want it to without pre-drilling the hole, but nonetheless. Then other specialty screws are here as well. There is a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the major products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as link to the full product catalog, which I would very much recommend that you review because they will have lock installation aids. They'll obviously have items, spare parts, security hardware for the locksmithing industry. They have a series of security hardware as well, latch guards, armor fronts, that you'll use in lock applications. Armor fronts meaning you'll have, security devices. They have a series of items called their octopus, maybe? I forget what they call it. Let's take a look. Octopod, that's what it is. If you're locking sliding doors, they even have a version here that you can use on drawers, on multi-gang drawer filing cabinets, I believe. A way to be able to lock all that material up. We just sold a few of these 3 weeks ago. Okay, these jam pins are nice. This is the poor man's non-removable pin, and what happens here is you install this screw, and this head will fit into the hole, meaning if you were to drive the pin out, you still can't separate the door because it's still engaged. And here's another way to do that as well. Okay, these are nice. You're not sacrificing a screw on your installation. You can drive the pins out, but the door's still not coming out with the jam pin installed. Obviously only on the hinge side of the doors where you'll use those. And you get the point. Lots of good stuff here. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, probably the best advice I can give you when it comes to Major is to look through their catalog. They are a company that's backed by really great technical support. If you call with a question, I don't understand what this is for, they've got it covered right immediately, ready to go. If you have any questions on the LSA-1, Locksmith Assortment Screw Kit, or any other Major manufacturing product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.